Hey guys, welcome to another Soul Encoded Tutorial solutions video. Today we're gonna do the solutions for the programming structure. Now, I have already gone and created this empty file. Hello! I already created this empty file in a challenge directory. So you could solve this using Node just straight up, or you could just create your own file if you want. I just did this for presentation sakes, but let's get right down to the business. Very straightforward tutorials. Now I'm gonna use a while loop for the first particular loop me exercise, and then for the Fizz Buzz I will be using a for loop. But let's do the loop me challenge. In this challenge we will practice control flows using any form of loop, console log 0 to 100. So let's do count equals 0. Var count equals 0. So I'm essentially creating a variable called count and setting it to 0. That will be your starting point. Now while count is less than or equal to 100, so basically I'm saying as long as the count number is less than or equal to 100, continue to do this loop, right? So we'll also iterate count by 1, and we will initially console log the count, right? So one thing you might have noticed there, why did I do that versus this? Why did I do this versus that? Meaning, why did I iterate the count first? This right here, count plus equal 1, then the first time I log it, it will actually skip my first count, right? Because it will increment the count first and then it will log it. So the correct thing to do is that. So to execute this, I'm just gonna go in here, I'm gonna type node, I name my file called program structure, execute it, bam, 0 to 100, all done. Yep, of course you could use like a for loop as well, but I'm gonna use a for loop in this next challenge called Fizz Buzz. So let's go and do that one. So as I mentioned before, Fizz Buzz is one of those like really popular kind of memes in the industry because everyone talks about Fizz Buzz for interview questions, right? But honestly, it's a pretty straightforward problem. The only thing that's like kind of difficult is like printing Fizz Buzz versus for numbers are both divisible by 3 and 5. That's like the only trick, right? But basically it's a loop with conditionals. So let's go var I equals 0, or let's start with 1. I is less than equal to 100, I plus plus, right? So right here, all we're doing is we created a for loop and we're iterating from 1 to 100. Now inside this, I'm gonna create a conditional execution using if statements. If I, and then we use modulus. As you know, modulus is basically shows you the remainder number, right? So you gotta imagine I, every time this loops, goes from 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? So if you say if 1 modulus 3, for example, then that should give you like a weird remainder, right? So it won't equal to 0. So then it won't execute this particular line of code. But for us, we're gonna do 15 to start off. Now why 15? So any number that has a modulus remainder of 0 of 15 is actually is when you should print Fizz Buzz, because any number that's divisible by 5 and any number that's divisible by 3, in the end it should be divisible by 15. Those are like basically that's the only time when you should print Fizz Buzz. So you should print this at the very top, right? So if I modulus 15 equals 0, so this is the case when both 3 and 5 is perfectly divisible by I, right? So for example, 15 modulus 15 will give you 0, right? And that's when you should print Fizz Buzz. So we're gonna say console log, and then we're gonna say Fizz Buzz, right? And then else if, and then we could just go through and do the I modulus 5 equals 0. And what this is just for when it's divisible by 5, right? So we could, console.log, I believe is buzz. And then we could do else if I modulus 3 and that equals 0. Then we could do console log fizz, and finally for else we're just gonna console log whatever the particular number is. And there you go, that's your fizz buzz, our standard fizz buzz. So let's execute it here. Boom, fizz buzz. And if you look here, 1, 2, fizz, 4, and then there's 5, so that's buzz, and then 6 is divisible by 3 evenly, so that's fizz. And then right here at 15 there's fizz buzz, at 30 there's fizz buzz, because both 3 and 5 is divisible, 30 is divisible evenly. So that's it. That's how you program fizz buzz. There's other ways to do it. If you're interested, look, there's some clever ways to do this problem, and I hope you're able to solve this challenge without much difficulty, and hope you join me in the next one. Bye.